as we know, the latest we've ever seen this on record in March.
Yeah, indeed, it was a very record slow start to the month of March. Before we go back to yesterday, wanted to show you that cold front is still active, the one that was coming through the Moore and the Oklahoma City area yesterday. It's up in southeast parts of Pennsylvania, giving thunderstorms. They're not severe at the moment, but I wouldn't rule out a damaging wind gust in this as the line comes toward Allentown and down toward the Hershey and the York and the Lancaster areas, and then it's a little bit stronger coming to the Baltimore and Washington area. So now we're going to take take a look at some of the video from Moore, Oklahoma last night. Carl, you were pretty impressed by these power flashes.
Yeah, this is some of the more dramatic video that we saw. And oftentimes when you see a tornado, you'll see these power flashes, but we noticed that they were occurring over a very large, a very wide area, indicating a huge area of strong winds associated with what's called the RFD.
Some of this, I think, was probably a combination of branches coming down, or maybe the lines themselves swaying into branches, maybe some sheet metal that was blowing, hitting that, and occasionally one of these big ones, probably a transformer or even a power plant that was exploding. And at times, you may be able to see a little bit of debris blowing in there that might have been hitting those lines. We also had some video here of some of the damage to the Southgate Elementary School there in Moore. You can see windows broken. You can see some of the roofing materials were peeled off. Of course, right after the tornado hit, there was a lot of heavy rain and some hail came in, so a lot of damage to the school there.
And this rear flank downdraft could have been producing winds of 70, 80 miles per hour. So it could have been pretty serious damage from just straight line winds.
Yeah, this is a combination of straight line wind damage that took off in places parts of roofs, in some places maybe whole roofs, and here this part of this building has lost some of the walls. So National Weather Service already assessing, I think, here at least an EF1. They'll determine whether they want to rate this a little bit higher. They have not come to that conclusion yet. Here in front of a radio tower snapped off, and one of the other towers has fallen completely. Maybe we can go back to some of the radar recap. We'll go back to Max 6 here and take a look at what was happening. I guess I can hit the button to do that. We had this little fine line, a little outflow boundary with a cold front that had moved across the Oklahoma City area. There is more right there. As this storm was approaching with hail and strong winds coming out of the El Reno area, it began to catch up. Now, we were talking about rear flank downdraft. That would be the winds coming from the northwest out of that rotating storm that was a little bit elevated, a little bit up over top of a cold layer there that was right up to that boundary. But then as that storm began to catch up to the boundary, right as it got to the west side of Moore, it began to rotate because it began to tap, instead of cold air at the surface, tap into the warmer air. And right about at that point where Carl's drawn the circle, we developed a tornado vortex signature, the green going eastbound, the red going westbound. And that's the way we see a tornado, and it began to quickly pick up a debris signature as well in this little ball. So tornado in progress there, and it worked its way southeastward across the Moore area, causing, as we've seen, quite a bit of damage.
And there can be a lot of ambiguity in those signatures, but when they're associated with that little ball, then you know you've probably got a tornado.
Yeah, there was a combination of big, wide, spread winds in there with a little circulation on the leading edge of them.
All right, Nick, back to you.
All right, thanks, guys. And our coverage of the deadly tornado outbreak in Oklahoma just wrapping up. Ahead, we're live in Sand Springs, Oklahoma. That's where authorities say this twister ultimately took someone's life.
Grandpa Cody, Grandma said he used to be out of control.
Really? I guess I did take some risks. Trained a little bit differently. A little too honest sometimes. The media is useless.
We're at.
But not always.
The FDA issued a public notice to doctors and patients concerning serious injuries caused by transvaginal mesh, bladder mesh, pelvic sling, and bladder sling. Please call now if you had one of these devices implanted in the last 5 years. You may be entitled to a cash award. If you had a transvaginal mesh, bladder mesh, pelvic sling, or bladder sling in the last 5 years,
please call 1-866-686-7952 now.
But now, let's put this out here. I'm getting soaked. We're getting a good heavy hit of rain.
We have been shattering records. Look at this sample.
Thanks for watching AMHQ and helping to make us the fastest growing major network on cable. AMHQ on the Weather Channel.
You weren't expecting that, right? No, I wasn't.
Currently in our area, 47 degrees under cloudy skies. Our local Doppler radar. For tonight, mix of rain and snow. Low 35. Winds north-northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. For Friday, light snow during the morning will give way to showers of rain and wet snow during the afternoon. High 40. And Friday night, light snow in the evening will give way to a few snow showers overnight. Low 22. Here's our 7-day outlook.
The wildest weather ever caught on camera. Tonight, tomorrow night, every weeknight. Wild weather at 8 on the Weather Channel.